Takopi's original sin has taken over the anime community since the release of its vividly traumatizing first episode. And it's safe to say that countless viewers around the world have been deeply scarred by it. The last time we witnessed this level of response to such an emotionally taxing first episode was probably Oshinoko back in 2023. And similar to Oshinoko, anyone who's read the manga of Takopi's original sin would know that this reaction is to be expected. Takopi's original sin is a web manga written by Taizan 5 and published on Shonen Jump Plus from December 2021 to March 2022, with a total of 16 chapters. Shonen Jump Plus is an online platform under the famous Shonen Jump magazine. While Shonen Jump is known for mainstream series like One Piece, Demon Slayer, and Dragon Ball, Shonen Jump Plus allows creators to be more experimental and deviate from the common shonen tropes of friendship, effort, and victory. Some of the most iconic works that came out of Jump Plus include Spy Family, Dan Dan Dan, and Chainsaw Man. If you've seen at least the first episode of the anime, you probably recognize some odd similarities between Takopi and Doraemon. And that's because the manga is indeed inspired by Doraemon. The author wanted to create his own take on the classic character, but with a more realistic and darker twist. So you can see its influence on the park setting, the name Shizuka, and the magical gadgets. Another anime that inspired the creation of Takopi is Re:Zero, an anime known for incorporating elements of Groundhog Day, a time loop where the main characters have to keep reliving the same moments until they make every single correct choice for a happy ending. Although Taizan 5 wasn't exactly a well-known author at that time, it didn't take long for people to notice Takopi's original sin as soon as the first chapter was uploaded onto Jump Plus. But what really propelled the short manga to go viral on the internet was the release of Chapter 4, which is equivalent to Episode 2 of the anime. It was also the first time that Takopi's original sin broke into the top 10 trends on Japan's X. Since then, whenever a new chapter was released online, multiple Takopi-related keywords would enter the top 10 trends and spark discussions across the internet. Takopi's original sin also set a new record with Jump Plus, as it became the first ever series on the platform to reach 2 million views on the first day of the new chapter's release. The record was later broken by itself with the release of its highly anticipated final chapter, which got over 3 million views in 24 hours. And just to show what a cultural phenomenon the manga was in Japan during its run, Takopi's original sin was chosen as 2022's second most trending word on the internet, beating out the anime adaptations of Spy Family, Chainsaw Man, and only losing to the global phenomenon, Uta, from the One Piece movie. After enjoying multiple wins and nominations at almost every major manga awards from 2022 to 2023, an anime adaptation was finally announced at the end of 2024. The anime was produced by TBS and animated by the animation studio, Enicia. Although they have plenty of experience with animated commercials, music videos, and assisting other studios on shows like Freerun, Takopi's original sin is actually their first ever anime series. While the casting of Takopi and Shizuka was also officially confirmed, the decision had already been made as far back as 2022, when Jump released PVs and voice comics for the manga. Shizuka is played by Ueda Reina, who's having a career year in 2025. Takopi's original sin is likely going to end up as one of the best shows of the year, and her role as Kanao from Demon Slayer. And Eze from Chainsaw Man. Make her the central part of two of the biggest animation film releases of the year. Takopi is played by Mamiya Kurumi, best known for her role as Hamotaro, one of the most beloved characters in Japan during the 2000s. She hasn't been as active of late, but One Piece fans should know her as Leo. The only change to the anime adaptation was the recasting of Marina's voice actor, as the part now belongs to Kohara Konomi, who's best known for her role as Fujiwara Chika from Love is War. One thing that separates the adaptation of Takopi's original sin from most other anime shows is the director Ino Shinya's determination to make sure the anime stays loyal to the source material, while showcasing its brilliance to the fullest extent. Television anime shows on most occasions have a runtime of 24 minutes in order to fit the 30-minute time slot, including commercials. But the director of Takopi's original sin felt that a fixed time frame would limit the anime's possibilities, so he opted for streaming services. As a result, we got a first episode with an uncommon runtime of 38 minutes, and a 6-episode miniseries instead of the usual 12-episode format. Now, it's very rare for an anime of Takopi's original sin's level to be only available on streaming. But what's even more unheard of is that it's available on multiple streaming platforms. The reason is that the director, Ino, wants to make every single decision based on what is best for the show, not what is best for business. He believes Takopi's original sin is a series that needs to be watched by as many people as possible, not for entertainment purposes obviously, but because it has the potential to have a profound impact on the viewers. At first glance, Takopi's original sin has a very cute aesthetic that reminds me of the anime shows I watched as a kid. And I'm gonna be honest, because of how it was advertised as the happiest story, I went into the manga expecting a slice of life story. A girl with an adorable alien companion. It's kinda like Lilo and Stitch. And only halfway through the first chapter, I was already utterly devastated and shell-shocked. There have been plenty of series in the past with dark and heavy storylines paired with cute character designs, like Madoka Magica and Made in Abyss, but it's never felt this real before. A lot of my favorite characters from Naruto, One Piece, or Demon Slayer were killed off in their show, and it's very sad, but at the back of my head, I understand this part of storytelling. However, even though I don't particularly like the characters of Takopi's original sin, every single bad thing that happened to them weighs on me like I've never felt before. Both the anime and manga did an amazing job of asking viewers questions. There are no lengthy exposition dumps and internal monologues aside from Takopi's to inform us what the characters are thinking. Much of this storytelling relies on viewers interpreting the narrative between the lines and deciphering facial expressions. As for a massive theme of Takopi's original sin, bullying is a pretty common trope in Japanese media, but the depiction is often too one-dimensional. The bully is bad by nature, and the comeuppance is usually unrealistically satisfying. Once in a while, a masterpiece like A Silent Voice will come along. It has probably one of the most realistic depictions of bullying and its consequences in anime, but it never sat right with me how easily the victim forgave all the terrible things that were done to her. Takopi's original sin, on the other hand, albeit a bit extreme, shows that not everything is black or white. Not all conflict is good versus bad. It also dives deeper into the context of what made people the way they are. Every character has their family problems that led them to make the twisted choices they did in the story, and that's one thing I believe the viewers could really benefit from watching the show. Takopi's original sin is fundamentally a show about empathy and seeing things beyond face value. Takopi might have the best intentions and magical tools to fix things, but without understanding the context and motivation behind Shizuka and Marina, he actually inflicts more pain on everyone. Marina is a bully, so we naturally assume she's a terrible person. But as the story unfolds, we realize that Marina is fighting her own demons as well, which doesn't justify her actions, but simply writing her off as a bad person would erase all the possibilities of helping her. Takopi's original sin is definitely one of the most impactful manga I have ever read. Did I enjoy it? No. It makes me cry even just editing this video. But it also makes me want to be a better person, so I'm glad I got to experience it. And hopefully the same goes for the millions of people traumatized by it. This has been Cushion. See you next time.